I'm going to talk to you about what's going to go on this weekend a little bit. This is a psychological end of the coaching game that's so very important for the success of athletes in all levels of martial combat training. Now, we're going to have you guys step up for the first time this weekend and showcase your training, which, like everybody else, has been somewhat interrupted by the entire COVID dilemma of 2020. So the fundamentals that we've been going over in class and training are something that's going to be very important that you put into play. Now, the thing that I don't get a chance to talk about much in class is the importance of visualization and the importance of creating images in your mind that tell you they're instructions for yourself. So I have this thing that I ask people to do. In your weakest moment, you don't have, most people anyways, don't have a good discipline on how to behave and how to act. They don't have a good plan because they tend to react to the emotional energy in that moment. So what I'm going to ask you to do with your strongest moment is write yourself instructions. So you know how you want to perform in the fight. You want boom, 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 good fights. You want your strikes. You want your hands immediately back up. You want to clear. You want to make sure you have good head motion. All of these things you want. But you know, it's sometimes you don't get what you want. Oftentimes elbows are flying and head movement isn't quite what you thought it was. So this is a good time to visualize exactly what you want things to look like, exactly what you want them to perform like, even down to your energy level. It's really important that you take about 10 minutes a night and put it into, right before you go to sleep, dedicating to the discipline of visualization. And I'm gonna tell you guys, you wanna break it all the way down to just, a jab, bang. You got a jab. How are you going to respond to that jab? What's going to be your response to a bang bang, right? That's one that I would like to do right now. So guy throws in a jab, lean out, boom, hit the body, bam, hit the body. I love these types of combinations. Leaning out the outside, good solid kick to the legs, whatever it might be that you feel you're comfortable with. Right now it could be as simple as just parrying that jab out of the way. Pop, pop, okay? Pop, pop, just like that. Pop, pop. Whatever they are, orthodox, southpaw, defending either way, whatever that looks like. So come to terms with the uncomfortable situation that we're in as far as walking up and getting ready to go into these fights. I get it. They can be tense, and there's a lot of things you're worried about. You're worried about, what are people going to think of me? Is my training sufficient? Am I in shape? Am I ready? What would I do for another week? And so those of you that aren't in camp yet, that are looking for the next series of fights coming up, I need you to look at, you will do almost anything once you're in it for an additional week. Like if you're walking into the cage and you don't feel ready, what you wouldn't give for an additional week. Well, the week is now. The week's on the front end. And I'll see this in climbing sometimes. People are like, I don't want to spend a lot of money on carabiners and climbing gear. I'm like, man, if we could stop you when you start falling, you start falling, we hit a time machine and it stops you. I'm gonna come up to you in my floating board and like, you know what I charge for a good carabiner right now? And a good rope? Whatever I want. Because you should have bought it on the front end. You should have bought it on the front end. You don't wait until there's an emergency before you wish you'd had it. All right, don't procrastinate your way into a fight camp. So where you are now with the current fight camp is in visualization. Where you are for the next fight camp is in show up. And so let me give you the secret recipe here. This is for FusBoxe, this is for Sambo1, this is for BOA. This is the coach's expectation. You want to be ahead of most people. We're talking like 70% of people on the planet show up. If you want to be ahead of maybe 80% of people on the planet, show up on time. You want to be ahead of 90% of the people on the planet? Show up on time with a plan. You want to be ahead of almost everybody on earth? Show up on time with a plan and put it into action. If you do those 4 things, you will be highly successful. I look forward to what's going to go on this weekend. This is going to be great. We're going to have Coach Z, we're going to have Coach Tim, Coach Courtney. We're all going to be out there in support of our athletes here at the center. I'm not going to judge you on a win, and I'm not going to judge you on a loss. If you win the fight, I'm not going to think that you're the next UFC champion. If you lose the fight, I'm not going to think that you're not the next UFC champion. It is all determined by your behavior on a day-to-day basis. Once these fights are over, if you begin the self-coaching propaganda thing that people do, the first thing they'll tell themselves in their personal propaganda is, I need time off. I'm going to take a week off, 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off, a month off. I'm going to start becoming sketchy on when I show up. You do this fight, we're talking 6 minutes of your life. I don't know, if you're not injured, I don't think it requires a week off. There's a lot of skills that we have to gain to get to the next place. You guys want to step up to the plate and you want to fight in MMA? You want to go to the Pan Americans in Sambo? You want to compete on a high world level type of event? Guys, I need you here at the gym. We have strengths to develop. We don't have to do everything on the floor. So if you get injured, that's okay. I understand. We might not put you on the mat. We might get you over here in the weights. But we have to train constantly. We have to do some rehab when you get back. We have to do some prehab. We have to get you in when the fight's still fresh and work on some of the issues so we don't repeat mistakes in the next fights. This is a massive opportunity. Every one of you that plans on opening up a BOA or a FusBoxe Center, this is your opportunity. This is your certification. Your certification is based in performance and in training. We are watching you. And if you show us what we need to see, you will be next in line for a BOA or FusBoxe Center someplace in the United States, whether it be in Colorado or hopefully next in Texas. Guys, this is Coach Sullivan with the BOA and FusBoxe Center in Westminster, Colorado. Don't forget Sambo1. Bidding you a wonderful afternoon. And get in and let's get these fights out of the way and get ready for the next ones, guys. I appreciate all of you. I'm going to sign out. Have a good day.